I see a picture of him and I'm like, oh my God, like he's actually really, really cute. Like he dead ass look better than my rest.
It was a player for them in love. Then he met a girl, then she left. Met a girl, then he met a girl. What's her name? Then he met a girl, then he met a girl. Then he met Shalaya. He the keys to my heart like the mayor. I said, hold on, wait, little baby, I won't play ya. Feel like I'm dreaming when I'm with you, I can't stay up. Got me praying.
Hey guys, it's Shalaya Dae and welcome back to another YouTube video. So today in this video, it is actually going to be a story time. I'm gonna try to talk loud and very clear only because my camera is sitting right above my dishwasher and I feel like y'all can hear me, but I'm not sure, but I ain't even got no time to check, okay? But today's story time is actually a little different. I'm going to be giving you guys the inside scoop of how I met my boyfriend and how my relationship started and basically how it's going right now. So before we start, go on ahead and sit back, relax, get used to my voice, get some popcorn, eat your favorite snack, get a drink, because baby, this is tea, okay? But I know you guys miss my story times, and honestly, I miss telling story times too. So I'm gonna try to incorporate as much story times as I can. And trust me, you guys, just because I'm in a relationship does not mean my life is still not half as crazy as you might think it is. But I have many story times that I can share, but I definitely want to share it at a good time, okay? Also, the last disclaimer that I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys before we continue this story time is that unfortunately, a lot of information out of the story time I cannot share with you guys just yet, but I do hope to share it with you guys very soon. Either way, let's go ahead and dive right into this video. Basically around last year, you guys kind of got a scoop of everything that I was dealing with. So unfortunately, a lot of things transpired. Like I got pregnant, ended up having an abortion. Like it was just a lot of stuff going on around the ending of that year. And I tried to make the best of it and keep a positive mindset, even though I was very hurt and devastated with how my life was going. I even got my Instagram took, I got my social took by that guy. Like it was just a lot. It was literally just a lot. But of course, everything happens for a reason. Either way, February 14th was the last day that I actually spoke to the guy who hurt me really bad. We were supposed to take a trip to Puerto Rico for Valentine's Day, and it was just a mess, okay? But either way, February 14th was the last time I spoke to him. Around that time as well, I had stopped working. He convinced me to, you know, quit my job. It was just a lot. It was a lot of BS, y'all. It was a lot of BS. And honestly, after I got my Instagram back from him, I honestly wanted to go into like a hibernation type of depressive state. But I literally was fighting for my Instagram for about a week. And you know, after I fought for my Instagram, I just honestly wanted to just be in my own apartment, be by myself. I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to go out. I just wanted to be to myself, to really just grasp everything that I had going on at that time. Honestly, it was just really sad around that time. So it was one day that I'm relaxed. I got my Instagram back, I'm home. Basically around this time, Ramesh didn't have his car anymore. Ramesh's car had broken down, and so basically me and Ramesh were sharing my car at the time. So Ramesh had called me one day and was like, yo, my cousin is in town and she wants us to pick her up at the airport and for just a few hours and then drop her back off. Can you come by, you know, my sister's house, which is Kanisha's house, you know, and then we can drive out to the airport and go get her and so on, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. So I get up, I go to my sister's house like I always do. Y'all seen in every last vlog, I used to stay at my sister's house before I moved to Panama City Beach, Florida. Y'all know I used to stay at her house. I used to get fed, the whole 9 yards, baby. I was never hungry, okay? But, not saying I'm hungry now, but, yeah, I was always at her house anyway, so I, you know, got myself together and I went over there and we went to go pick up his cousin at the airport. I went to go pick up the cousin, and honestly, the cousin is she's close to the family. Obviously she's a cousin, but she always spoken to me like, you know, we are cool like that. We joke around on a certain type of level. Like I'm like, girl, please, bitch, please don't talk. Like we joke like that. Like that's the type of relationship that we have. So it's a really nice relationship. But either way, basically we get her and she comes to the house for a few hours. We chilling, chopping it up and whatnot and what have you. She does not know the full extent of what relationship I just came out of. But when we got in the car to bring her back to the airport, because remember she was only staying for a couple hours, when we got in the car to bring her back, we were in the car and me and Ramesh was talking about it. And so she like, you know, was listening on the conversation and was like, oh Shalaya, why you don't talk to my stepson? So I'm like, who? I'm like, girl, since when you had a stepson? So I'm like joking around with her, like going back and forth. She's like, yeah, girl, I texted Ramesh a picture to show you. Why you didn't like say anything back? And I'm like, what picture? And so Ramesh is like, Shalaya, I texted it to you like a week ago. But the whole problem was, is that I was literally fighting for my Instagram during that time. So I wasn't even, my mind was nowhere near on nobody else. Like it was nowhere near. Like I literally was texting Ramesh every day and I overlooked his image. Like it was that serious. So either way, I go back into the messages, I see a picture of him and I'm like, oh my God, like he's actually really, really cute. Like he dead ass look better than my rest. I was like, this man looks 10 times, 1,000 times better than the last nigga that just did all of that extra stuff and you're not even that cute, like honestly. So basically, I was like, oh, okay, like, you know, I will talk to him. So I went ahead and DM'd him on Instagram and was like, hey. And then I guess, you know, his stepmom, which is Ramesh's cousin, was in the back and I guess she had texted him or something like that. And honestly, she was telling me in the car that she had texted him a picture of me and, you know, he was like, he would definitely like, you know, hop down as he did. Please! Either way, after I texted him, hey, we started talking. Now, I'm gonna get real personal in this, but you guys have to remember there's also gonna be another part of this because there's information, like I stated in the beginning, that I won't be sharing in this video. So, sorry, but it just has to happen that way. But this is gonna be juicy anyways. So, basically we start to talk and off rip, y'all, he tells me like, listen, I want to be completely honest with you because I don't want to break your trust. I don't want to do any of that. Like, I'm being 100% honest with you. I have a child. Just had a child. And so I'm like, oh shit, bitch. Red flag, abort, mission. They're like, yeah! I was like, why, God? I was like, why? So I was like, honestly, in my mind, I was like, no. Like, there's no way that I'm going to actually sit here and talk to a nigga with a child. I just got out of something horrific, and this guy's just telling me that he just had a child. Like, this man is messing with his baby moms. I don't got the time. I don't got the time. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just hear him out. But I'm in the back of my mind, I'm like, cut it. This ain't going to work. My boo just texted me. But either way. So, like, it was just a no-no, y'all. Like, it was just a no-no. But I was hearing him out, and he was continuing. He was like, honestly, like, I was a certain type of guy back then, but I'm really not trying to continue that. Like, I have a child now, and I'm really trying to settle. Like, I'm not trying to live that type of lifestyle, like, pure point blank. So, in my mind, I'm like, I just don't believe you, sir. Like, it sounds good, but it just, So then I start asking him more about the baby mother situation, and he was basically like, he was doing roommate situations with people down here at first. Once his baby mom got pregnant, they ended up deciding to get an apartment together so that they can like have more space instead of having to share space with other people that they don't know, since they already, you know, things like that. So he explained it to me like that, and that is where I had drew the line. I was like, if I'm gonna be talking to you and if I'm gonna accept the fact that you have a child, I cannot accept the fact that you live with your baby mom. It does not matter if you're telling me that you don't messed with her, you haven't done anything with her since the child, like it doesn't matter. Like personally, I can't be sitting here talking to a guy when you live in the home with your baby mother. Like it don't make no sense to me. I don't know what the fuck y'all do on y'all spirit sign, but baby, it ain't gonna, no, absolutely not. So I was like, that's a deal breaker. And so he was like, he understands and he can definitely change it and this, that, and the third. So when he said like he can definitely change it, like immediately in my head I was like, are you trying to play me for a fool? Like, what the fuck is you gonna change? You gonna pack up shop and leave? So literally in my head I'm like, this man, like, here you go, he's starting to lie, and we don't do well with the lies. So either way, so as we continue to talk, he tells me that him and his baby mom has a horrible relationship. Like they are like literally going back and forth every day. She hitting him. It's just a lot. Like it was just a lot that they was going through. Like a lot. The child wasn't a planned child. Like it was an messing around type of child. But of course now the child is here. Of course he loves and cares for his child because anybody would. But it was, the reality of the situation was it wasn't a planned child. Either way, so I'm like, okay, you know what? We can talk, but I already told you my deal breaker, so I'm not going to be able to really be like heavy with you unless like, you know, you fix that. That is one of my main things. I understand you can't fix the fact that you already have a child, but the living with your baby mother part can definitely be fixed, and I'm not gonna accept that if that's where we're going. Okay, so he's like, okay. So for a whole month we were talking, and basically things at the apartment kept getting worse, like worse and worse and worse and worse. So either way, we kept talking. He started to drive to Georgia from Panama City to come and visit me every single off day that he had. He only had one off day, and it was a Sunday. And every single Sunday, or I think it was like Saturday night after he get off of work. So mind you, he'll work like all day and then get off of work and then get gas and then drive straight to my apartment and then shower, and then we'll be in the apartment chilling and stuff like that. And literally, y'all, one of my favorite things about this story is that during this time when he would have his one off day and would come and see me, for a whole month straight, you guys, this man and me did not have sex. We did not have sex for a whole month of us talking, getting to know each other. And y'all, when I tell you it was so hard, every single Sunday he would come to my apartment. This man he would literally cook for me. He would literally clean for me. He would bring me to the grocery store. Around this time, you guys have to remember that I quit my job because of, all right? And so I was really tight on funds. I was doing YouTube, and my YouTube checks was actually covering my rent, but it wasn't covering everything else, like groceries, my vehicle, like it wasn't covering everything else. So for the month straight where I wasn't having sex with him, this guy is driving over 10 hours, because you gotta remember, 5 hours to Atlanta and then 5 hours back, 10 hours on his one off day when he can actually relax. And he's cooking for me, and he's coming up there and he's buying me groceries, buying me stuff, taking me on dates, like literally, y'all. So I was really like, that's what drew me to him, like even more. And like, y'all, I'm not even gonna lie, like he doesn't got it like the last dude I was with, but it's a difference. It doesn't matter if you with a guy that got it, it's whether he wanna spin it on you, if that's the case. The guy that I was with, he wasn't really trying to spin it. Like, honest to God. I probably was not his type of girl. I know he hated me. He had to hate me. Like, there was no way that guy actually cared about me at all. So, it just depends on if the guy wants to spend it on you or not. Personally, this guy, my boyfriend, my one and only, he genuinely wanted to spend it on me, and he was showing me that he wanted to spend it on me, and he did that by coming up there every Sunday on his one off day, 5 hours back and forth, and literally taking me on dates, buying me groceries, making sure I had, y'all, I forgot the main part. This dude paid my rent. This man paid like $2,000 worth of rent, and my rent was only like $1,000 flat, like even. So he paid like 2 months rent for me, and was doing all that extra stuff for me, and we did not have sex. So literally, like, that's what drew me to him even more. Either way, one of the times when he was headed back, like, it was during cold time, and I had gave him a jacket that I got when me and Mariah went to LA for her birthday, and we went to Santa Monica Pier, and I bought a jacket because it was cold in January in LA. So I had gave him that jacket to drive back down with, but when he got back to his apartment, his baby mother literally cut my jacket up and cut it all up, which it really made me upset, only because it's like, okay, I get it, you know, where you feel angry. You get what I'm saying? Like, I get it. You're gonna feel angry with women, you know what I mean? But the problem is that I know not to be upset with another female. I would be upset with the guy. Even though they didn't have an actual relationship, I would still be upset with the guy, because you never know. Like, you know, during their whatever they had, you don't know how a guy can make you feel during that moment. Even though it might not be a real relationship, you never know how a guy can make you feel, make you confused into thinking that it's a real relationship. So I don't really fault her, but I do fault her because it's a woman's job to have just a little more sense. Okay? Just a little more sense. You can't be upset with me. I don't have no loyalty to you. You got to be upset with the person who's supposed to, and not even really him, but supposed to have just an ounce of loyalty to you. So to cut up my jacket while you already know that he leaves to come and see me and this, that, and that, it's just it was just a mess right then and there. So she actually like cut the jacket up, like he came back like with bruises on him, like it was just a lot. It was a lot that was going on, and he literally couldn't take it anymore. So he would express to me like all the time and call me when things are going down. Like, it's several situations like in the apartment that went down, and he had to call me like for me to see it with my own eyes. Because y'all, even though like he would say like, oh, he not doing nothing with her, I just didn't believe him. Like, for some reason, like that is something that I would just never believe in. Personally, like I said, I wanted him to be out of that apartment before we could actually take anything serious, you know? I wasn't having sex with him, nothing like that. Like, I wanted him to be out of the apartment. Either way, he couldn't take it no more. All that craziness was transpiring and things like that. And so literally one day I just told him like, listen, I can't continue to, you know, deal with you unless, you know, you leave out of that situation. Like, I can't. Because realistically, I'm not taking nobody, man. The man is coming to see me. Please. He came to me. So I didn't take nothing. Either way, literally, y'all, this man packed a suitcase and went to his friend's house and was literally sleeping on the couch at his friend's house and going to work for about 3 months. I want to say like 3 months straight, and refused to go back to the apartment. So at that moment I was like, damn, like I'm looking like, hold on, like okay, now my words got a little power or something. Like, it definitely makes you feel special, because in a way it's like you're expressing something to somebody that you're uncomfortable with, and they're taking the initiative to understand like, if this is where I want my life to be going, or this is who I want my life to be with, I'm gonna change certain things. So I definitely like will always applaud him for that, because honestly, if he never left, I would probably never be with him. Like, honest to God, because I can't deal with all that. Either way, he leaves, and that's when our relationship starts to get real serious. So we're dating now. We are actually doing the do now. Like, we're doing more, you know. He's coming to see me consistently, and he bought me like an anniversary cake. I don't know if y'all remember that. Like, it was 3 months of us like actually, you know, dating now, and literally he bought me an anniversary cake, and it was one of the times like he was coming up and I had set it on the phone to him, and he bought it, and I was like, oh my God, like this is so cute. I was telling him that my last dude that I was messing around with was supposed to actually go on a cabin trip with me, and he ended up taking another girl. So he ended up taking me out to the cabins, and we had an amazing time, y'all, like an amazing time. And I'm not even gonna go too deep into what happened on the cabin trip, because that definitely has to be saved for the video that's supposed to be the part 2 to this, okay? So either way, everything was really good. I remember, I think it was like the 3rd month of us actually dating, he actually asked me to move to Panama City to live with him. But I was like, I don't think I could do that. Like, I honestly was scared because my whole life was in Atlanta. Even though I was really yearning to leave Atlanta, I was like, my whole life is in Atlanta, and it would be stupid for me to pack up shop and then come and live with you when literally I just came out of a situation where a guy just made me quit my job and told me to live with him. So it was very scary to me, so I actually declined. And then, you know, of course, as time progressed, I was like, well, yeah, like, I would definitely live with you now, like, you know, yada, yada, yada. Either way, as time progressed, we ended up talking more, caring about each other more, and having more fun, going on more dates and things like that. And we ended up talking about moving in with each other, I think in May, the ending of May. We talked about moving in with each other, and he was all for it. He was like, look for an apartment, look for 3, give me your top 3 apartments in Panama City, and whatever one that we agree on, we're gonna get. So I went and gave him like 5 different options, and he picked this one. He picked this one, and right when he picked it, I flew here, did the tour with him, and we got approved for the apartment the same day, and our move-in date was actually July 14th. When I got back to Atlanta, I started to pack my apartment up. My mother actually helped me pack up my apartment, and I ended up breaking my lease. And then I went to Texas with my sister to stay for a few up until it was time for us to move in. While I was in Texas, he was talking to me a lot, and he was like, I really miss you, like, I'm too far from him and things like that. Like, because normally in Georgia, he could drive up to me, but, you know, he's not going to drive to Texas. But, you know, he was like just wanting to be with me. And so he ended up moving the move-in date earlier to July 1st. So July 1st comes around, and I ended up moving into this apartment with him. And literally ever since July 1st, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, we've had our ups and downs in this apartment. I'm not gonna lie, like, we've had ups and downs. And the reason why I'm gonna be real with y'all is because I don't want you guys to ever think any relationship is always gonna be perfect, but it just depends on what relationship you think is worth fighting for. Personally, I feel like a relationship worth fighting for is a relationship with a person that wants to fight for it just as much as you do. The last situation I was in wasn't even considered a relationship at this point. It was, I don't even know what the fuck it was, but I know that I was willing to fight for it more than the other person, and I don't ever want to put myself in a predicament where I feel like that again. So of course we go through our ups and downs. Of course it's gonna be baby mama drama. I cannot stand her ass, y'all. Like, oh my gosh, let this bitch say one more thing, I swear to God. But of course it's gonna be baby mom drama, and of course it's gonna be disagreements that we're gonna have. We're learning each other. We just moved in, like, you know what I'm saying? We're learning how to live with each other. Even though I'm Jamaican, I'm still an American. So of course he gonna think I'm a Yankee from time to time, you know. He's definitely more of a Jamaican than me, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna be ups and downs, it's gonna be challenges, but we definitely have been through some. I don't wanna say a lot, because it's not been a lot, but we definitely been through some. But he's willing to talk to me and work with me, and I'm willing to talk to him and work with him, and we actually listen to each other, and we actually set in place like certain rules that we really want to see from each other. And my rules, some of my rules, I don't want to get too deep into it, but my number one rule is every time when you leave out of the apartment and you come back into the apartment, I need for you to kiss me. Like, we need to have that kiss, like, because what if this is my last time seeing you? Like, you know what I mean? So we have that in place. Like, we express to each other like how we feel. Like, we come to each other and we express to each other how we feel and what we feel like we need to work on, both sides. We are very affectionate towards each other. that's probably one of the main reasons why I have not been like on YouTube with him, like sitting by like, you know, side by side, because we are very affectionate. Like when we are around each other, we like always have to be touching each other, like, you know, always like that. But either way, you guys are definitely gonna see it sometime soon. But personally, I am really happy right now. Like honestly, like I'm really happy. I'm not gonna lie. There are moments where I cry and I break down and things like that. I'm, you know, a little homesick sometimes, even though I do not want to go back. I'm a little homesick because it's just like I miss my family. Like I used to be so close to my sister's house, like a drive away. Like, you know, my best friend is in Atlanta. Like little things like that. But he definitely reassures me where he can, and he definitely makes me feel happy. Like even though we go through whatever we go through, at the end of the day, I want to be beside him. Like I want to be laid up with him. I want to be cuddled up with him. I want to watch movies with him. I want to talk to him and tell him about my day. I want to, you know, cry to him. Like little things like that. Like at the end of the day, I kind of have a concept of like where I want to be. Like, you know what I mean? And it has been a very, very an amazing journey. It definitely has been. And I just love the fact that how he cares about me and how he loves me. Like I love that, because there's moments where I'ma have like my just moments like, I don't give a fuck, like, you know, whatever, and he be like, Shalaya, just calm down, like you're doing too much. Because he's definitely a mellow person, and I'm more loud and, you know, animated and stuff like that. I'm more loud and animated and just all over the place, and he's more mellowed. Like he talks really low. He's very calm majority of the time. I mean, I've got him upset a few times to, you know, test the anger, but that's not, so I should not be proud of that. I should not be proud of that. But honestly, I care about him and he cares about me, obviously, because, you know, right? And I don't pay rent here, so I don't want y'all to get that out of y'all brain. My man covers it, okay? Covers it. I am blessed and highly favored, okay? Because I just could not pay another damn rent a day in my freaking life. Like I cannot do it. I will cook, I will clean, I would wash your dirty drawers, I will learn how to make whatever it is that you want, but I just don't want to pay no rent. I don't want to pay no bills. So even though right now I have a job, I don't really pay no bills. I will spot him. Like if he really need me to spot him on like, you know, rent or something like that, I will spot him. But I'm not out here like paying a whole ass $1,900. But overall, like I was saying, like personally, I am definitely loving the life that I have and I'm making with him. And like I said, it's definitely more to this story that I do want to share, but it is not to be shared right now, but it would definitely be shared in a part 2. But overall, that is how I met my boyfriend, and right now we are 7 months strong. 7 months strong, I think, because we started in February. Oh, I forgot to add that in the story. We actually started texting on February 29th. So I stopped talking to old boy on February 14th. And what's crazy is the day when I stopped talking to old boy, I really put it in the back of my head, like, there's nothing in this world and on this planet, not even Jesus himself or God himself, could come down and tell me to ever speak to this nigga again. That's old boy, okay? And what's crazy is when I used to mess with old boy, there would always be like a voice in the back of my head like, Shalaya, you know, like if he comes back around and asks you on a date, you should definitely go, like you're gonna go. I never actually had a real mental detachment from him, old boy. But on February 14th, I literally told myself like there was nothing else, like there was nothing left. Like there was literally nothing left, like all jokes aside, like I'm not even being funny, like there was nothing left. And I never spoke to him after that. Even whenever he was taking my Instagram and texting the other girl about me, it was like, oh, Shalaya never mattered to me, this, that, and the third, like, oh, I don't even like her, like, oh, this, that, and the third, downplaying everything. Like, literally, y'all, like, I did not text him once. He's even texted me and was like, oh, I leaked his address and I didn't. And like he was doing all that stuff, and I never spoke to him throughout that whole time. February 14th was the last time that man got a text from me or heard my voice ever. That was the last time. And it's crazy because literally February 29th is when I started to talk to my boyfriend that I have now. So look how God literally was like, Shalaya, finally you release this demon from out of the back of your mind. Now I'm going to bless you with a man that doesn't have much but will give you the world. And like literally, y'all, like I promise you, that had to be the best thing that I received like so far, like this year. Like it is a blessing. It truly is, because where I was stressed about rent, I was stressed about my love life, I was stressed about being alone, I was stressed about all these little things, and look how God literally placed somebody in my life to tend to all those things. It's crazy, and so quickly at that, like literally so quickly. And you know, when I started talking to my boyfriend, I actually told him, like, you know, I was being one with him the same way he was being one with me and telling me, like, what he got going on. I was one with him. I was like, listen, I just did this and I just got out of this. And he was like, listen, like, we can work on it together, and, you know, just be patient with me and I'm going to be patient with you. And literally that's how we started. Like, honestly, I was even telling him, like, dude, we don't even gotta be dating, we could mess around or something. And he was like, no, like, he actually wants to try to be with me. So I was like, okay, like, you know. And here we are, freaking are, like, literally, y'all. It's a true blessing. You know, I'm just really blessed. I feel like I'm really blessed, honestly. And I know he's blessed to have a baddie like me. But either way, y'all, that is the story time of how I met my boyfriend. Definitely stick around for part 2. It will come very soon, hopefully. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and definitely share your thoughts in the comments. This is a story time that I told to the public, so of course, if you have any bad comments, I don't really want to see them, but you know, I can't really be judgmental on it. I can't really give y'all a story time and expect y'all not to share y'all true thoughts. So definitely share y'all true thoughts, but just remember that he makes me happy and I make him happy. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. But like I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And guess what, y'all? I will most definitely see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.